to the news.
The news.
The news. Speaking of EA, they did a shitty thing, and I don't want to dwell on it too long, but they have done mass layoffs at the EA Australia.
Yay.
Iron
Not like
Monkey.
we already have a good, thriving video game industry in this country.
Yeah, I know, right?
Because we have unions and we have workers' rights. EA's like, what's that? Cancelled.
Yeah, basically. Or any company, but
Yeah.
it's sad. I wish all the developers and all those guys the best of luck.
I hope they have enough money to transport themselves to Canada. Yes.
Yeah. Or I hope they find something else doing, like something
Locally,
else.
yeah.
Locally. Because like their talents aren't specifically games. They can do other technological stuff.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing.
Warner Brothers is in Gold Coast.
If you've ever looked on Seek.com recently, there are a lot of positions in information and technology. That it's an industry that needs people.
Yeah.
So like hopefully that works out. But man, fuck these layoffs. They're happening too often. EA's probably the only one that I understand a little bit more, basically because they've had a rough couple of years. But
layoffs this generation have been few and far between, and I think compared to the last generation, I remember like every month there were layoffs. I'm like, this is excessive. But then that was like global financial crisis. That was really like PS3 generation was really figuring out what are we now.
It started rough, but I feel like in the last couple of years we've had more layoffs than there should be.
In the last couple, like it ramped back up. Like it was started like pretty good, like this generation. Then it's like I think it inflated, and now it's busting. And I'm like, okay, we need to scale down a bit and go back. But that's just it is normal economy, but it sucks.
It still doesn't make any sense because there's like for them to be like, we're cutting all these teams, but again, like the whole fucking Activision one, record revenue.
Yeah, that's the bad one. Yeah. But then you've got companies. We'll talk about it later. But Square Enix reshuffling their entire divisions, keeping everyone employed. Like there's no good redundancies. They're just good at business. Ubisoft, same thing. Mm-hmm. Like this can happen. Like I don't necessarily.
Nintendo's done it.
Yeah, Nintendo takes CEO takes pay cuts.
Yeah,
that's brilliant.
At least their previous CEO did.
Yeah.
Don't know what the new one will do, but
hopefully
they all seem like they're pretty good people.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry guys. Hopefully that doesn't hit too hard.
Yeah.
Fucking hate that shit.
It sucks.
Anyway, on to some news that's a little less disappointing.
Yeah. Hopeful even.
Microsoft is to reveal their new hardware at E3.
2019. That's this one.
Codename Lockhart and Anaconda.
Anaconda is weird. Together they are Scarlett.
Together they are Scarlett.
Yes. But yeah, no. So down here it says these devices have been reported on before. The first Lockhart is part of the Xbox Scarlett family of devices and is a discless console that will be far cheaper than the regular Xbox One, possibly around $200 American dollar. The second, the Anaconda, is a slimmer, newer version of Xbox One X. Both consoles.
A slimmer version again.
You're right. Xbox One's slim as fuck. I was thinking One, which is chunky as fuck.
No, the Xbox One X is tiny and it causes problems.
Does it?
Yeah. So they banged on about this for a while at E3, that they're like, they came up with a way to do it as slim as possible without having any issues. Because the reason the Xbox One is so big is because they didn't want to repeat the mistake of the 360, which is too many components next to each other causing an overheating issue. Yeah, exactly. So there's a lot of free space in there.
Yeah.
But the problem was they did it with the Xbox One X. They slimmed it back down, and it still has the overheating problem. Oh, no. There are a number of Xbox One X's that overheat and shut down like a red ring of death scenario.
Okay, I hadn't heard any.
There aren't a lot. Like, it is a smaller failure rate, but
and it's also a small sample size as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But slimmer again just makes me go, guys, like, why? What are you doing?
So I can't tell whether this is just a update on the One technology or if this is the next generation, because the report of this just seems like it's the current gen being slimmed down to the super slims. Like, that's we're at that stage. We're at the grill PS3
Also, have you
stage.
picked up an Xbox One X?
The original? Yeah.
No, the X. The X.
Oh, sorry, yeah, you did say that. No, I've never seen one.
They are so fucking chunky. Like, not chunky, but like they're tiny, heavy. But they're dense.
Yeah.
Like, they're heavy.
Yeah, makes
like,
sense.
if they're slimming that thing down again, That is like it's the kind of thing that like if you drop from like not a tall distance, you could probably kill someone with it. Like it's that fucking dense. Yeah. Like it's bad. If they slim that down again, that thing is going to be like the density of a neutron star. Like it's fucking it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Why are they doing this? Honestly, I thought Microsoft was smarter than this. I thought they were smarter than this. I thought they figured this shit out.
The only thing I can think of is that these are the next gen, because 2020, like...
Yeah, because, like, if this isn't the next gen, if this is just them, like, another, like, a hardware refresh for the current one family, what the fuck is that? Because we know that Sony is working on their next generation console. We know that is due coming. Like, they basically said, like, yeah, we're doing this. So you're going to, the year before, a brand new generation of consoles is going to come out, which is most likely going to up the hardware stakes again and probably put more power into the marketplace. You're just going to be like, nah, our plan is to just double down on what we already got, the thing that already failed you. And then if this is the next generation, why is your next generation console just the one you just released a year ago, but smaller?
Yeah.
Like, it better have some improvement or you're just going to fucking fail again.
Yeah. I get the point of the first
one. The
one.
Lockhart I get. The Anaconda is the one that I'm just like, what the fuck is this thing? The only thing I can think of, and maybe this works, is they released this slimmer version of the One X as the next Xbox, and also say that anyone who has a One X doesn't have to buy a new console.
Because it's pretty much
because the next gen is the One X.
I don't know. That seems like very confusing messaging.
It does. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's the only thing I can think of as to why you would release on the console that is the same as the one you currently have on the market and call it next gen.
And the other thing I can think of is that this came through a French site, so maybe translation issues, but everyone's reporting it like this. Like, this is from GameIndustry.biz, so they're pretty good with that.
Who knows?
So... Also, yeah, E3 can be very interesting regardless because Sony's not there. If they announce these two consoles and if this Anaconda is the next gen, like we just get Project Anaconda coming 2020.
Project Anaconda is such a bad name. Scorpio was good.
Scorpio was good. Durango was awful.
I like Durango.
Durango's dumb.
I like Durango. Because, like...
I thought about Durango
They should be names that don't have any connotations currently. Like Durango was just like, okay, the Durango, whatever.
Yeah.
The Scorpio was like, okay, that's a cool name for a thing.
Yeah.
But the Anaconda, A, it's a bad movie. B, it's a bad song. So like what are you doing? What are you doing?
It's just a code name. It'll change. Not going to become the Xbox Anaconda.
It didn't with the Scorpio. They launched with a Scorpio. You're going to have an Anaconda edition of the Xbox One Anaconda.
The X's will be snake shaped.
God.
You're right. Jesus.
God damn it.
We'll see. E3 is going to be super interesting.
Seriously, Microsoft, you gotta do better than that. You gotta do better than that.
I think this is better in the software side of things. Boop, boop, boop.
Yes, but this is Nintendo doing better, I think.
It takes two to tango here.
Not really. Not really. The Nintendo goes, hey, do you want to put the Game Pass on Switch? And Microsoft just goes, yeah. Because, like, why wouldn't you?
I think it was the other way around. I think Microsoft went to like, hey, we got some cool ideas. It'd be nice if we could, like, have Xbox Live on your console so we can have an actual working...
Well, they already have it on there.
Not yet.
No, you have to sign into Xbox Live to play Minecraft.
Okay.
Yep, it's already there. The functionality's there.
Cool.
But yeah, Game Pass possibly moving to Switch, and also... Did we talk about this last week, how...
There was a rumor, I think. I don't remember. But yeah,
No.
Sorry.
I was going to say... sorry.
Okay.
Because it also says here, Xbox exclusive games could possibly be coming to the Switch. Did we talk about how Scalebound might be resurrected?
No, that only happened this week.
Right.
I've seen many conflicting reports on that. Like, people say, it's happening, it's not. Like... That's an interesting thing because they have a good relationship with Platinum.
Yes, because they're releasing a bunch of Platinum games, and all I could see that was really evidence for it was just that Nintendo is looking to bring a previously thought dead game.
I think that's a real report.
Yeah.
Scalebound being that interesting.
Who knows? Could be. I would like to see that game. It was the game that made me want to get an Xbox.
Yeah.
Scalebound was the thing that I looked at and went, I'd play that. And I guess if it's coming to Xbox only, I'll buy an Xbox to play that.
Does that
Never
mean Nier's
happened.
coming to the Switch? Does that mean Nier's coming to the Switch?
I would assume so.
And if it is, it's going to be Nier, not Automata.
I assume both would come.
Yeah.
I assume that they'll
Nier,
do Nier.
I like a Nier Definitive Edition would be good because I know in Japan got like 3 different versions of that game that can really make that full story. Like it'd be nice to just get like a Definitive Edition.
The original Nier would probably come, and Automata isn't a crazy game. It's fine.
Yeah.
It runs okay, but like again, in spots it looks like a PS3 or 360 game.
Yeah.
So like a console that is a PS3 or 360 in portable version should be able to run that game in theory.
Yeah.
But the idea of like Xbox exclusive games coming to the Switch is big.
Even like the one game that they're like the game that they're saying they want to like launch natively, like not through streaming, is or in the Blind Forest,
which
makes
I think
sense. It's a perfect fit. Not Tetris. Minecraft is already there.
Yeah.
A couple of other things that can run natively, but then like streaming stuff like Gears of War 5.
Yeah.
The day before I saw this report, I'm like, I really want to just get an Xbox One S and then just Game Pass, and I can just live off that. Maybe, like, if I don't have the money, but that'd be a nice thing. But then I'm like, the next day this report came out, I'm like, I don't need to buy an Xbox anymore.
Yeah, and that has felt like Xbox's get out of jail strategy, which is
Put the software everywhere.
And maybe one day just get out of the hardware business and just be like, we're a games developer now, basically.
Yeah.
We're a service provider. And you see, Xbox Game Pass is on the PlayStation as well.
Yeah.
Because at a certain point, Sony would want those games on there because they'd be
Is
the only.
Sony going to win and become the all-in-one console that's been?
We'll see what Google has to say about that.
Oh fuck yeah, they're going to GDC. I forgot all about that.
Yeah, but as the landscape stands now, you would if Xbox went down the path of we're going to just develop software and streaming services and then put our shit out on every console.
Like they put it on tablets and PCs and phones.
Then you would think that would then basically move Sony to being the default winner of the console wars.
Forever.
Because Nintendo...
And plus Nintendo.
Well, the thing, again, Nintendo's kind of this weird outlier.
They've always been plus Nintendo.
Yeah. Ever since the
64.
GameCube.
Cube, yes. But
I'd say the Cube is probably where it suddenly became plus Nintendo. Because what are you doing? Why is that thing a cube?
I saw we'll get to it soon, but I saw the video of Reggie using them as weights. I'm like, that's fucking brilliant. I would have been killed to be a conscious person in 2004.
But yeah, if they do this, it's interesting.
Yeah, using the power of Project xCloud and just streaming it everywhere. Streaming... Okay. If Games Pass is just streaming games, on the Nintendo Switch, if it's just streaming games, I'm not going to get it because my internet sucks here. Australia's internet sucks here. If it's Games Pass, but you can still download the games, which I doubt that'll be a thing because Switch doesn't have that much storage. And
not just that, but it doesn't have the power to run some of those games. If they're wanting to bring...
You're right, yes, that's the thing. That's the specific thing, yes.
Like Gears of War 5, that's not going to run a Switch. You could download it to the Switch, but it'll probably explode in your hands while you're playing it.
Yeah.
So it has to be a streaming
Just
option,
streaming, yeah.
which means it'll probably come to Australia at a certain point, but it probably won't. Well, it depends.
PS Now's still not here.
Yeah, but that's... Yeah. But the thing is here, the Switch has streaming
they do it in Japan.
already. They do it in Japan.
What was it? It's Odyssey and something else.
Phantasy Star Online, I believe.
Phantasy Star. I think there was another one, Yakuza.
Odyssey and...
It was a Japanese game. I want to say Yakuza. Star. Might have just been Star Ocean, Star Odyssey, whatever you said.
Well, there was Phantasy Star.
Phantasy
Online
Star, yeah.
Was brought to the Switch as a streaming thing. Doesn't like Doom do it over there as well? And no, not Doom. Wolfenstein? No, not Wolfenstein. They're download games. Anyway, doesn't really matter. Yeah, like that reads to me as the kind of thing that probably won't come over here. But the thing is, with Game Pass, you could still get things like Ori and the Blind Forest to be part of that service.
Cool. It'd be cool if like like the Xbox original and 360 games were downloadable. Because I feel that could run, and then I could play KOTOR on the Switch. Play KOTOR on the Switch. I don't know. That's where we get into weird licensing deals, and
not just that, but like
streaming's a little bit.
I mean, did you see the way that fucking Assassin's Creed 3 port runs on a Switch?
Yeah,
that looks like trash. So I don't know if. Yeah.
No, you're right.
Might be a fun way to play original Xbox games. If that, maybe. But some 360 games. I mean, Assassin's Creed 3 was tail end, so it's definitely the higher end stuff. But it doesn't look that much better than Assassin's Creed 2, and Assassin's Creed 2 is kind of your middle of the ground. Yeah,
2009. It is smack bang there.
And so, like that, if that stuff's not running well on a Switch, I don't. Yeah.
That also just might be Ubisoft, because Rayman Legends came out.
LA Noire doesn't run that great either.
LA Noire didn't run that great.
Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see. If this is just streaming, this is going to be fine.
Yeah, it's just a weird thing to think about, because, like, Microsoft's been very much in the view right now of, like, trying to make their games and their services accessible for everyone.
Yeah. $2 for 2 months for Game Pass.
This kind of move definitely feels like, cool, you get it out on every Nintendo Switch in a country with a decent internet connection, which is Japan.
San Francisco.
Sweden. Like, that's about it. Because the rest of the world is still, like, fucking what is the deal?
Yeah. If, apparently, Google's, like, the Assassin's Creed Odyssey Google beta was really good, and the thing I can compare that to is Google owns YouTube. Streaming on YouTube is almost pretty much painless. You stream a video, like IGN's video player sucks, takes forever to stream. Like Twitter, Tumblr, like they've all got bad video players that take forever to stream this bit of data, whereas YouTube is pretty much flawless. If there's, like, I know video and video games are very different, but if YouTube, if Google, and I think they have developed the technology to just simply, like, easily stream everything to a YouTube type content, that's what we want. And, like, YouTube, I can watch 1080p stuff on ADSL too. Like, and, like,
but the thing is, they're not using. Yes,
they're not using Google,
but they're using their own xCloud stuff.
And that's the thing. Maybe. Microsoft can do Google stuff. They're a good company. Like, they're not the top anymore, but they're still really good. If they can even get close to this.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing with the xCloud idea is that they're trying to put this in a position where the cloud is doing most of the processing. Yeah. So that nothing in between has to bottleneck it. Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
And Google's also doing their box at GDC. GDC is going to be very interesting this year.
Yeah, when is GDC? It's soon.
Usually like the first or second week of March, I want to say.
Cool. So it's
I don't know the dates off the top of my head.
We'll see what happens there. Yeah. Want to move on to the next bit of news, which is, I don't want to say sad news. It's not sad news, but not. Well, yeah, but it's something. Okay, Reggie Fils-amie. Fils-amie.
Just having a stroke.
Reggie Fils-amie retires as president of Nintendo of America. He's leaving in mid-April, and fucking Doug Bowser is going to take over.
I wrote, set to assume the throne crossed out position.
Yeah. That's fantastic. Reggie's cool.
Reggie's real
I'm going to miss Reggie.
Yeah.
I like watching Reggie do things. Yeah. He's fun.
He's great. He's a great Muppet. He's great.
He was a great Muppet. He was a great...
Reggie Fils-amie. He was a great Muppet.
Yeah. The Reginator will live on.
Yeah. Hopefully a Smash. him and Iwata can just come in and be Mii fighters.
Yeah, absolutely. Like they should do some weird dumb shit around it as well. Doug Bowser, have you seen the photo?
What photo? There's so many photos. I've seen Doug Bowsette.
God, I hate the internet sometimes.
Yep.
No, it's the photo that he released publicly when it was announced that he would be taking over, and it's the one where in the background there's Luigi and Mario tied up.
I did see that.
I was like, that's perfect. Because like it does give you this sense of like he knows the score. He seems to have a sense of humor about it as well, which is great.
Which means if he keeps leaning to the joke, directs are going to be fucking entertaining.
Yes, they are. I hope he's as good as Reggie, because Reggie always had this way of like, I don't know, he always seemed genuine and believable.
Genuine and still a business.
Yeah.
Like, he still kept everything about the business. He still had a business persona, but like I obviously haven't followed his career from the start, but watching his like videos and stuff of like just memories of Reggie, like first time E3 2004 of the I'm here to kick ass, I'm here to take names, and we're gonna talk about video games.
Yeah.
Or whatever I forget that final line.
Yeah.
But yes, I'm like, Nintendo saying ass, period, let alone 2004.
Yeah.
Like, wow. And then he said ass like every other E3, like he's a guy, and that's why people love him.
Yeah.
And he's like, that's this weird thing about the video game industry. We love our execs.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Like, no one cares about Mark Zuckerberg other than he might be committing crimes. We don't care about...
Several international crimes.
Yeah, like, we don't care about other execs like this.
Yeah.
Like, video games, it's such an interesting industry.
It's because
that, like,
they're public
we love
facing.
Shuhei Yoshida. Like, he's so nice and cool. Like,
yeah. And Phil Spencer is one of the most respected people in the industry. Yeah, it's because they are public facing and they do have to do a certain amount of PR.
Yeah.
But Reggie always felt a little bit... The way he delivered stuff was always a little bit like it felt like he never really wanted to do that, but he did it anyway. He did it with confidence and he had to. And he just had this pacing and this tone that just made everything seem like it was going to be okay.
Yeah.
Like, even during the Wii U years, you were just like, everything's going to be okay, Reggie. It's all going to be okay. And he did. He was part of, like, so he's been part of Nintendo's biggest successes, but also some of his biggest failures. Because he was there with the launch of the DS, which is their fucking highest selling thing forever.
And the Wii.
And the Wii, but he wasn't, I don't think he was president at that point.
He was. The Wii launched in 2006. He became president in 2004.
No.
Yeah.
I believe he was part of sales and marketing in 2004, but I don't think he became president in 2006.
The DS launched in 2004.
2005.
Yeah.
But he wasn't the I don't think he was the president at the launch of the DS, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
I don't think he was. I know he'd been with the company for 13 years, and I think he was president for 10. Because he didn't come directly in as president.
Yeah.
He started...
was high up to begin with.
He started as sales and marketing, and if he was there for 13 years, which means he came into... Because he finished this... which means he would have started in 2006, but he wasn't president in 2006.
Okay.
I don't believe so. Because he started as a sales and marketing rep.
Yeah, okay.
The head of sales and marketing.
Yeah.
Took him a couple of years and then became president of Nintendo of America. Was there for the launch of I think it was the DS Lite.
Yeah.
Was the thing that he actually launched. Yeah, because he did a bunch of stuff with like the Game Boy Advance Micro. There's that thing that he has.
Is SP under him?
Yes. Cool. I believe so. I believe SP is under him. Pretty much everything from the SP forward.
Yeah.
He was under the Wii. I believe the Wii... Because when did the Wii launch? 2006. I believe that you're right. He might have been... Crap. Because he did that demonstration on E3 with the Wii Fit board.
My body is ready.
Yes. He might have just become president at that point.
But even like he might not have had too much involvement in like what the Wii was, but in terms of its marketing and its penetration in America, he's probably responsible for that. Yeah,
I mean, I think most of the stuff in that era would have already been done by the time he got there. Yeah. But he was definitely at the forefront of the 3DS launch.
Yeah. It's that launch wasn't great.
Launch wasn't great, but he did turn it around.
The ambassador program, the price drop, and then what came out at the end of that year?
The XL? No.
No, there was a game that came out. Like Zelda was the middle of the year. Zelda Ocarina.
What year was that?
2011. And then by the end of that
Zelda Link's Awakening? Link Between Worlds.
That wasn't for a couple of years later.
Oh, 2011.
There was something that happened by the end of that year. There's like an actual game came out and people were like, this is good and acceptable. I didn't buy it.
3D World?
Might have been that. I
3D
think it was
World?
that. Yes.
Yes, it would have been 3D World because I remember it was 2011, so that was when I went to EB Expo for the first year, and 3D World was playable on a 3DS there before it was released. Yes,
Yep.
cool. But yeah, so he did that, and then obviously he was forefronting the Wii U along with Iwata, and that was a rough year. That was the rough years.
Yeah.
But after those rough years of the Wii U, he then forefronted the Switch, which has become a fucking juggernaut, and he has left the company in a far better state than when he started. So like they turned it around. I said he's always been forward-facing and front-facing and all that kind of stuff. So directs and stuff will be a bit weird. It will be interesting to see. I hope Doug Bowser has got his own sort of style of doing things.
He does. I've seen snippets of him like at like New York events and stuff like that, just being charismatic and himself.
Okay, I haven't seen anything of him before. Like,
I've never actually seen, but like people are, like when they're introducing Doug Bowser in like news videos and stuff, it's just like he's done stuff. He's like engages with the community, but
cool.
Now he'll like. Everyone's got their eyes
will be on him, yeah. I mean, and the thing is, like, if you look back over the last year, it's kind of possibly, like, you probably could have seen this coming, because Reggie has been kind of pulling himself out of directs. You know, he was there at the E3 one, but he's been kind of pulling himself away from them recently, and it's been more of the... I can never remember his goddamn name, but the guy who's currently like the head. Yeah, that guy.
Snap guy, which is bad. He should be more than Snap guy.
Yeah, Snap guy, but he seems to be running most of the directs at this point, and even the, like... And that's another thing, they kind of, like, under the Iwata Reggie era, they kind of moved away from having, like, the Nintendo of America and Nintendo of Japan doing different things for different people. They kind of did it together.
Yeah.
And so that's when you started seeing things like worldwide releases for Nintendo instead of doing delayed ones. You started seeing things like press conferences that weren't just... this is the American press conference done by Reggie, and this is the Japanese one done by Iwata.
Yeah.
They did them together and brought it all in.
Yeah.
It's kind of part of his thing, so you can see him stepping away. The thing I love about this story, absolutely, is that he doesn't leave with any sort of controversy or any sort of issues. He's just said, I want to spend more time with my family. I've been doing this for a decade.
Yeah.
It's time for me to peace out.
Yeah.
And he's just leaving, and that's it. He's retiring. He's not going anywhere else. He's just retiring. Good on you, Reggie. Good night, sweet prince. Go on, right off into the sunset. You deserved it.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Like, that's a good story.
Yeah.
Like, I don't...
Like,
when
his
CEOs,
team wasn't laid off and now he's got to create a new industry.
and he wasn't forced out or
Yeah.
anything like that. It was just, like, he's done all he feels he can do.
Yeah.
And so it's time to hand
leaving
it
on a good note. Like, it would have been maybe not the greatest image if you left during the Wii U days.
Well, there are some people who, like, and I've seen stuff on YouTube as well recently,
Yeah.
about people being like, there are a lot of people, when the Wii U happened, who were calling for Reggie to resign.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it's better, and I say, fuck those people, because he proved that he was able to steer a shitty ship, even though it was a shitty idea, he was able to steer it and get it back to where it needs to be.
Yeah.
If you want... Like, and there are people who are like, I still stand by it, man, you should have retired back then. I'm like, no. Because if you give it to someone new, then we don't end up where we are right now.
We don't have Karen in the Switch commercials.
Yes. He was exactly the person that Nintendo needed. And it's weird because it kind of did come out of nowhere. But like I said, if you look at it, you might have been able to see it. Yeah. But he was just like, no, I'm retiring. He did a 2-minute video, I think is on the Nintendo Twitter page, and it's lovely.
It's great,
lovely.
yeah.
He's fantastic. He's, from all accounts, a wonderful human being, a wonderful person, an imposing figure. Yeah, he's a tall man.
Standing next to Sean Layden and Phil Spencer at the Game Awards.
Reggie just towers over people.
Yeah.
But yeah, it means a new era in Nintendo.
Yeah.
Which will be interesting to watch.
Yes. Very interesting.
Speaking of a new era, I mean, I don't know what this means for Square Enix. So Square
Exactly,
Enix,
that's what's so weird about it. Like, yeah.
Square Enix is set to consolidate. They currently have 11 business divisions. I don't know what that means. They're going to move it down to 4. I don't know what that means. Like you had the list of like. Oh God. List of like what the divisions are. So you've got like Division 1, which was they recently developed the 13 trilogy and Mobius Final Fantasy.
Toriyama's team, basically.
Yep. Division 2, which was Type 0, the Kingsglaive movie, and 15, all the 15 stuff, basically.
Yeah. I feel that would have been... That team, not the division, got remorphed into Luminous Studios, which I think was its own thing.
Yes.
But now Luminous Studios, what the fuck's up with that?
Yep. Then you got Division 3, which seems to be the biggest division. Because they've done Final Fantasy 3, The World Ends With You, Final Fantasy 4, all the PC ports, basically.
Yeah.
If I'm reading off an old Final Fantasy, it's the PC port from recently. Kingdom Hearts 2.5, Final Fantasy Explorers, Final Fantasy 4, The After Years, 10 and 10.2 HD Remaster, 7 on iOS, Union Cross, 5, 7, 6, 9 remasters, 10 and 10.2 HD Remaster on the PC, Star Ocean Integrity and Faithlessness, the 7 Android Remaster, World of Final Fantasy, Star Ocean, and Nemesis, Saga Scarlet Grace, Kingdom Hearts 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue, Kingdom Hearts 1.5 and 2.5 remixes, the 12 Zodiac Age, the 11 on PS4, no, 9 on PS4, Star Ocean The Last Hope, World of Final Fantasy, Melly Mellow, Final Fantasy Explorers Force, Kingdom Hearts 3, and Left Alive.
I forgot about Left Alive. I always forget about it, then it shows up on Square Enix websites. I'm like, oh yeah, that really cool Metal Gear looking game, but that's not Metal Gear, but Square.
So that's just one business division. That's insane. Then they've got the Division 4, which is Pictologica Final Fantasy.
Yeah. There's an old app that was weird.
Theater Rhythm, Final Fantasy Curtain, Final Fantasy Record Keeper, Theater Rhythm Dragon Quest, Dissidia Final Fantasy, Theater Rhythm Final Fantasy All-Star Carnival, and Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia.
Basically the Dissidia Final Fantasy team.
Yeah.
Dissidia
Theater Rhythm. Yeah, Theater Rhythm team.
Anniversary games, the celebration games.
Yeah. So yeah, Division 3 is the ports team. Division 4 is like the collaborations, the Smash games. Division 5, which is your MMOs, so your 14, your Grandmasters, and the Builders guys. They do Dragon Quest Builders, Final Fantasy 11 Mobile, and Dragon Quest Builders 2, which has got a release date now.
Yeah. Or it came out, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Then Division 6, which is just your Dragon Quest, 10, Monsters 2, Heroes, Endlayer, 8, Hoshi no Dragon Quest, Fortune Tellers Academy, Dragon Quest Monsters, Joker 3, Heroes 2, they did Nier, which was, they published Nier.
Yeah, it probably provided assistance.
Back-end support,
yeah.
Bravely Default, Dragon Quest 11, Fortune Street Dragon Quest, and Dragon Quest Rivals. And then, it just keeps going here. There's a bunch of teams that just do a bunch of Dragon Quest shit. Division 6, 7, and 8 is a lot of Dragon Quest. 9 has some Dragon Quest in it. 10 is the mobile games, Chaos Rings, Cosmos Rings, yada yada yada. And Division 11 is currently the new stuff, which is Octopath Traveler. I didn't see.
Where is? What are we looking for?
Lost Sphere and
Tokyo RPG
Factory.
I think it's its own
thing.
Yeah, I think their named studios are their own things. They aren't in business divisions, from what I could gather.
So they're going to consolidate these down to 4, and we were talking about what that means. I think what it means is that they're just looking to refocus.
Yes.
Because I feel like at this point the ports have been done.
You've done
the ports. You've done them.
There's just 8. The Xbox ones are coming out as well.
Surely that's it for the ports.
1 through 6 can come up.
But the thing is, we were talking about that a few weeks ago, about how 1 through 6 could come up, but what I would prefer is for the Business Division 11, currently, to do it in their art style of Octopath Traveler.
Yeah.
Like, give them a 2D HD
treatment.
remaster, not just a remake.
Yeah.
So, because these are just ports.
Yeah.
What I would say is the best, like, the thought here, given how many of these fucking divisions are running Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest, give them a division each, give one division the remasters, and one the new IP.
Yeah.
And call it a day.
Yeah.
And the Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest team you can either put all of them into one, or you can split them between two, and then have Kingdom Hearts bounce between the two.
Yeah.
But what I feel like this might be actually an indication of is over the last, let's say, decade and a half, it's been really difficult to get Square Enix to finish a fucking game. So hopefully, this consolidation gets them to refocus their resources and get things done quicker.
Yeah.
Because that's what they need. They need to stop having games take 5-10 years to come out and just have a Final Fantasy announced and released within 3 years.
Yeah. Like, how long has it been since Dragon Quest 9 to 11? Like, I know there was the MMO in there, 10.
I don't know.
Like, 9 was a DS game, I want to say.
Yeah.
Like, shit. Like, I was going to say, no, it's just Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy, but no, you're right. It's
Everything
Dragon
just
Quest.
takes too long. Because in between the actual releases of the games, they're remastering, re-releasing, porting, doing all this other shit. And they're doing this stupid fucking multimedia approach, which you can hear me bitch about in the Kingdom Hearts spoiler review, where they decide that they want to do a movie and a tie-in game and a this and a that and the other to make the convoluted... Fucking, we didn't talk about this either. Final Fantasy 15 released a fucking movie for its, like, goddamn episode Arden or whatever.
Yeah, it's called Episode Arden Prologue.
And then they're going to release a movie for the other 3?
It's a book.
A book!
Someone wrote all that, so I'm like, oh, can we just publish this somehow?
Fucking book. No, you know what? It was the one piece of media they were missing from their goddamn portfolio.
Yes.
Because 15 has like a mobile game, a mini game, a game, a movie, a comic, an anime.
Does it have a comic?
I think it has a comic. I think the anime has a manga.
It might. I know Type 0 had a manga.
Yeah. And now they got a book. Fucking hell. So I'm hoping that dwindling this down to 4 divisions stops that.
Or at least
curves it a little bit.
Yeah.
Because then you've got focus. You know, these guys are doing this game and these guys are doing this game, and they're not doing 12,000 things at once.
Yeah.
But as you were saying, they're business divisions, they're not necessarily developers that are so we don't know what that means. It's a bit of a weird thing.
Yeah.
Was that after a somewhat disappointing Q3? No shit! You didn't fucking release anything. Just Cause 4. Woo.
Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Exactly, that's why it's disappointing. Like, Just Cause 4 is Just Cause 3.5. Shadow of the Tomb Raider wasn't put out at a time that should have been put out.
At a certain point, Square Enix has its own, like, no one else to blame but itself.
Yeah.
Because they released Final Fantasy 15 2 years ago?
Yeah.
3 years ago.
Still 2 was...
Two now.
Yeah, November.
Because it was 2016, right?
Yeah, November 2016.
So November 2016. If they had a team that was dedicated to doing AAA shit and not just bouncing around, and if they stopped giving Nomura the reins to things, they could be part way or most of the way through development of a Final Fantasy 16 and have it released. They could have had it announced at last year's E3 and released this, and they would have had a fine year then, because like the announcement of a Final Fantasy game will get the needle moving.
Yeah.
But again, I think I've said it before, I just don't know when I'm going to get another Final Fantasy game, and that actually makes me sad, because I want a new one.
Yeah.
Because 15 didn't set the... Well, it apparently sold really well and did really well, but
they're happy with it.
I want a new one.
Yeah.
And I want one that I can under-fucking-stand. Because 10 has a bunch of bullshit in it that you can go down the rabbit hole on.
Yeah.
But when I played that game start to finish, I was like, good story.
Yeah.
13...
13's a 13.
13's a 13 only gets good when you play 2 other games. And that shouldn't be the case. Shouldn't have to play 2 other fucking games to make your own story make sense. Even though I think the story is good. And 15 just made no sense. Like, it just had nothing. Nothing. I didn't feel anything at the end of that game.
I thought it was cool when they became the logo. That's it.
You can't keep doing that. They did that in 13 as well. They just became the logo. You're like, oh, yes. Wait, hold up.
You know, you're right, though.
That can't just be how the game... If Final Fantasy 16 comes out, and I'm gonna look at that logo and I'm gonna think, how is this gonna be the end of the game?
Yeah.
Fuck. Alright. Yeah, no, I hope Square Enix gets better. That's a downer to end on.
Sorry?
Whenever I talk in depth about Square Enix, I get bummed.
Should have ended on the Reggie note.
Should have ended.
But in any case,
this is hopefully good news.
Hopefully, no one's getting laid off because of the restructuring.
Yes, it's just a restructure. Honestly, this feels less like a actual restructuring and more just like a restructuring in name.
It very well could be. That's what I'm worried about.
It's probably just like shifting around some LPs and IPs just to like consolidate some paperwork.
Yeah.
More than anything else. But yeah, we'll see.
Less spreadsheets to look at.
Yeah.
Or more.
No, it depends.
I don't know. Square always has the potential to get themselves out of whatever situation they're in.
Yeah. They have enough IP in the back pocket.
Yeah.
They could just make again, I'll say it again. They just announce and release a Final Fantasy game within a decent amount of time. Everyone will be happy.
Yeah.
They will bring it back up. But they just take so fucking long.
Yeah. And they have 11 business divisions. That's enough people. If they were to make less games and more quality games, they can get quality and quick.
Yeah.
The pace of those quality games there instead of quality over quantity.
Yes.
And then you can just streamline it because I have a feeling that they're done with their mobile project because they've shat a bunch of them out, and Mobius, Kingdom Hearts, and Brave Exvius stuck. Mm-hmm. And Record Keeper.
Yeah.
They stuck. Cool. They stuck. We have the whales in there. We can bounce out, reallocate those resources. Hopefully, I don't see them developing any more. I can't see them.
Yes, they will continue to develop those things. I don't think the mobile division's going anywhere because honestly, that's a division that you don't really. They can just stay. They can just do their thing. They don't actually take resources away from the rest of the company. They can just do their thing, and it will constantly generate the revenue and profits that the company needs. It is my problem with it's the Nomura problem of you gave him a thing and then he just couldn't finish it, and he couldn't finish it, and he couldn't finish it. And it was why is he still around? Oh, right, because he created Kingdom Hearts.
And he's a really good character designer. If he just stayed character designing things, that's fine. But don't.
But he couldn't finish the game. It took him 10 years. They pulled him out of it, which was the right decision because no one was finishing that fucking game.
Yeah.
They pulled him out of it. He went and did Kingdom Hearts 3, and now he's shitty about it. You can tell that in the fucking in the game Kingdom Hearts. You can tell that he's pissed about it. But dude, you didn't finish your game. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sure the company didn't make it easy on you, but also you could have just done it and then quit or something like that.
Yeah.
Because they're in this position right now because they've given Nomura too many projects that were big and he just hasn't completed them.
Yeah.
Because wasn't he in charge of Final Fantasy 7 as well?
Yeah, he's the director.
Fucking hell, that thing's gonna
take...
take...
He didn't even know he was the director. That's the fucking bad bit.
It's gonna take 4 decades for that thing to come out. They can't... Yeah. He shouldn't be in charge of that stuff.
No.
He just hasn't got a good track record on it.
The only reason Kingdom Hearts games were probably still getting put out was because of the co-director, Taya Sue.
Yeah.
That's why we had spin-offs. That's why games were being put
also
out.
There's Disney sitting there being motherfucker, put that game out.
Probably. 3 specifically? Yeah, I don't think they cared about.
I don't think about the other ones, but the
3, yes.
3 definitely with Disney being just motherfucker, put that game out. And there's a certain amount of you can't really be to Disney, no, he needs another year. That's not gonna happen. But everything else, he's just constantly just oh man, yeah.
Yeah.
As I said before with Set 7, I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah.
The chances are I'm going to go home and play a bit of Final Fantasy 9, because
Yeah.
that's a game
Which-
that is out and is
yeah.
good.
It sucked because Tabata put out games and then he left.
Yeah.
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 He could have been good. He could have
Yeah,
made.
well, hopefully
Agnes
they do
philosophy.
hopefully they do have some younger talent also in the.
Yeah,
in the-
that's what. There's a bunch of talent that just need to rise up. We need to get rid of the old stock. And like Nomura was the young guy and he was cool, but not anymore.
No.
It sucks.
Yeah. Oh, well, if you enjoyed this, be sure to hit the like and subscribe. If you have any questions for the show, please comment below or email us at amalgamshow@gmail.com. Remember, all the social medias at The Amalgam Show.
That's the one.
There is an Amalgam Show going up this week, is there?
We have Let's Plays instead. We have an Apex Legends Let's Play and we have a Jump Force Let's
Cool.
Play.
Sounds good. Remember to check those out, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.